What's going on, everybody? My name is C4. Welcome back to the channel. And our first Madden 25 blog has dropped, kind of with the big back-of-the-box features for this year's game. And we're going to talk about them. Now, we are obviously going to finish, and the meat and potatoes is going to be franchise mode. But we also always got to kind of see what else is new and about. But I will say, franchise mode, not bad. That's kind of where I'm at. That's kind of where I'm at. We will get to it. There's some couple things that have definitely been near on my list. But as we kind of just break down the entirety of the blog here, Boom Tech is their new, I can't really comment on it until I play it. But they're adding like new animations. They're adding, physics-based tackling, which I'm going to be, I'm not someone that's going to be able to go in a big deep dive on the gameplay, because if you told me physics-based tackling was in the last 5 games, I would say, yeah, probably is. But this would definitely be something that once you actually get to hop in there, as you got Micah Parsons chilling, you're going to be, you're going to feel the difference if there truly is that big of a difference. We got a new hit stick, has been refreshed, reloaded, and reimagined to celebrate 20 years as a Madden feature. Bring power in every phase of the game with a timing-based mechanic that will, guess there's a lot of different variants of the hit stick, which, that's Madden's gimmick. It's always good to have that. You have ball carrier control, foundation football. Anytime anyone breaks down, unless you're one of the people that got flown out to a little event there and has been able to play this game already, you can't read a blog on gameplay. You got to get in there and you got to feel for it. I imagine it's going to feel pretty decent. There's now more NFL immersion. Dive deeper than ever in NFL game day experience with immersive feature set that brings players closer to the action before. From realistic franchise changes to 2 brand new commentary crews. All right, so that's kind of something that's being heavily promoted here, that there is going to be more commentary crews. Different strokes, different folks. There's some people that's going to be a big win. For me personally, I mute the commentary people right away. That's more so, a content creator thing. Like, people always complain about the commentary crew. People always complain about the fact that the soundtrack is not like it was in the 2000s, where it was like a mix of rap and rock, which I think personally, I guess it should go back to that. But I mute all that stuff. I never, the pros and cons of that doesn't really affect me too much, but I know there will be some people that are happy. Let's look at franchise. We got NFL Draft Night, and franchise is more authentic than ever with a rebuild environment, fresh player fits, iconic moments, a draft prospect board that's easier to navigate, and real-time draft grades. See inside team war rooms and green rooms as the night progresses. Then meet Roger Goodell on a new NFL draft stage in a fresh fit that suits you. Confused a little bit. I'm confused a little bit about all this, but a revamp of the draft process has been pretty high up in my board. I mean, the biggest thing that's been at the top of my list, the number one thing, is the thing at the bottom there. You can see Team Builder, create a team is back. The number 2 thing was get away from playbooks, meaning everything. Like playbooks, that whole, like, if your team's going to be good in the sim, it's based off of your playbook. That has to be, that's almost a 1A, 1B with create a team in that. And then I would argue the third on my wish list is to revamp the draft process. Because right now the draft process, pretty stagnant, and I think there's a lot of room for them to grow with that. So, I mean, clearly with the, they're trying to relay the fact that you're going to be swagged out. What does that mean? What does that mean, I'm going to be swagged out? That sounds like, this point sounds more like I'm playing like a creative player mode. And I'm going through with my own guy versus like an actual draft board. But if they make just, if I'm doing a 5-year rebuild, I'm going to have 5 different drafts of lavish player fits and meeting Roger Goodell. I guess cool. But I do think overall a revamp of Draft Night is a W. But for me, the biggest thing on Draft Night that franchise has been missing is trades. CPU for CPU trades. If I'm the Eagles and I'm sitting there at the 10th pick, and clearly we traded up because Philly always picks in the 20s because we're going to the playoffs. We're the best teams in the league. But say we trade up to 10. Let's just put the Jalen Carter situation in. Philly traded up, we'll say to 10 to get Jalen Carter. Jalen Carter's fallen. But in Madden, for right now, if you looked at the final mock draft, you get 5 mock drafts throughout your regular season in Madden 24. 9 times out of 10, that 5th mock draft that you get right before the draft starts, that's the order players go. And I mean, I've kind of used that as a crutch. If I see that the guy I want is going at pick 10, I know I need to trade up to pick 9 or pick 10 and I will be able to get that guy. I think franchise mode needs to add more CPU trades that can completely pull the rug out from underneath you during that draft process. If I think Jalen Carter's there at pick 10, I trade up to pick 10. I know, based off Madden 24, that Jalen Carter is going to be on the board at pick 10. I want this new revamp of draft night. I want the Dallas Cowboys, who are picking at 20, to just, out of the blue, trade up to pick 8. Like, I'm literally simming through pick. They trade to pick 8 and steal Jalen Carter from me. I want that element into my draft. Because that's arguably the biggest time that you see franchise-altering, league-altering trades are around the draft. It might not actually have to be on draft day, but they're going to be big trades that involve big-time draft picks. Third, fourth, second, all those different type of draft picks, maybe in the week of. Maybe the last week of the offseason before the draft, you're going to start seeing some big trades go through across the league. I really just feel like Madden has fallen behind on how intense, how blockbustery the trades can be around the draft, especially from a CPU versus CPU environment. So that's something I would love to see. And you know what? I'm going to interpret this Iconics moment as potentially going in that direction. I don't know why you would revamp the draft night process to make it more authentic than ever, in their own words, and not have blockbuster trades, because that is the authenticity that draft has been missing. So, cautiously optimistic with some of the wording, but it is kind of vague, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but this reads more like a be a player feature than it is a franchise. I'm controlling a franchise feature, so I'll be interested to see how that all kind of breaks down. Manage personalities through dynamic storylines and team meeting rooms, coach's office. So I'm assuming this is just more scenarios that are going to be added into franchise mode. Different presentations and settings for those scenarios. Cool. Franchise Central provides simplified league creation tools and delivers important information to your fingertips, including personal messages and top stories that make your franchise experience feel more like the NFL in every moment. If I had to be suspect about this franchise overview, now there's going to be a deep dive, and the deep dive is going to expand on all these things. And right now, it's an overview, right? So they're kind of just hitting you with the taglines and all that. A lot of these are vague. Like I still I look at this and I don't really know what we're getting. I have an idea, but like, what is iconic moments? Fresh fits. And why are they using fresh fits twice? Why is this the buzzword there? What does that mean? Franchise Central. Simplified league creation tools. But what? What are they? And again, these are not arguments, because what are they? Just wait for the goddamn blog when it drops. But for a selling point back of the box, what is that? What is simplified creation tools? You know? What is top stories that make my franchise experience feel more like I don't know. I can't get hyped. I'm more so confused. Question marks about what these are. We have core depth improvements featuring team and rookie records. Kind of cool. Improved team roster AI for free agency and draft selection. I mean, again, that's just something you get every single year. New draft stories and generators. Refine player progression logic focused on younger and older players. Revamped news content focused on important games every week. And female models in Creative Coach for the first time, as well as a fresh Super Bowl celebration experience. You know, that's your, not trying to be overly, it's an overview, right? We gotta wait to the block. This seems like something that they're putting in to make this section look a little bigger, right? They're just kind of putting all the little things that have been slightly tweaked and improved into one big post here. You know, team and rookie records is kind of cool. Anytime they improve the roster AI, that's going to be a win. I don't know how much more they can continue to improve it to get to a good spot. It seems like every year it does get a little bit better, but then you say that and you go through maybe 2 years, 3 years of franchise mode, you're like, damn, you know, there's no more drafting quarterbacks in the first round if you already have a quarterback, which is a win. There's no more doubling up on the same position, first round pick year after year that we've seen in years past, which is good. And then just somehow you'll go into year 4 and the Philadelphia Eagles will have Patrick Mahomes and Jalen, maybe not that, that's exaggerating, but I've seen times where, I remember one time last year, and it's one time, it's not super common. Anytime I would have a complaint about the roster AI, it's not common enough to say that it's broken, but you will still see. I remember one time, the Giants had Jalen Hurts, who was an 88 superstar. They had Justin Fields, who's an 84 star, and they drafted a first-round quarterback. So, it still happens sometimes, So I suppose if this is like the full circle, like they got the AI where it needs to be, that's going to be cool. New draft story and generators, that's always kind of cool. I thought underrated aspect of Madden 24's draft classes were when you get like the 300-pound quarterbacks, like some of the funny, unique players. That's always a welcomed addition. And everything else there, again, got to kind of wait for how it breaks down. Tuning and progression across multiple franchise systems have been altered to ensure teams are smarter, reflecting real NFL strategy. I hope that this is some part of playbooks. Again, very generic, broad breakdown here, but franchise, like, I'll just say right now, Madden 25 franchise mode is going to be capped on enjoyment, capped on its potential, if it's still a playbook-determined sim. Because most people use the sim. Maybe you don't sim the whole season, but I would say 90% of franchise users at some point in time will use the sim. And as long as the sim continues to be like, if you are the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Bengals, the Eagles, the Falcons, and you know you're going to get 30, 40 touchdowns that way, and you know that if you are going to be, we'll just say the Niners, and you just know you're never going to have the quarterback that can potentially, no, regardless if you have a 9-9 quarterback or not, that will just get 35-plus touchdowns in the sim consistently. It's a bummer. It's an absolute bummer. It hinders what teams you can do. It limits some of the teams in the 32 in the league because like they're just not going to be fun teams to play with because in the sim, their playbooks suck. And it doesn't reflect their actual roster. That needs to be a top priority. And I would like to assume and project that this little tidbit kind of relates to that. We have crossplay and franchise launch in Madden 25 after a successful beta at holiday last year. I mean, that is, for some people, that is going to be a win. But for me, this is it. Team Builder is back. Our franchise fans, we heard the desire for customization. And I'm not saying that I've been at the top of that mountain, but I've definitely been with some of the people that can speak to people at EA. That has been the top priority. Give me every single customization tool we possibly can get. And they're bringing back the Team Builder. Design your own team using customization tools available on the Team Builder website. So I assume it's going to be very similar, probably copy and paste to what we're getting in College Football 25, which is really unique because I've been thinking, getting that short list ready for Madden 25. Who's going to be our main channel franchise? I have an idea who I want to be, but now you throw in Team Builder. We might have some fun with that. Once created, import your team into franchise and dominate for Super Bowl glory. Share your creations or explore the download center for other created teams. Stay tuned for more about Team Builder coming later this summer. So that's a win, man. That is, like, if I'm trying to read between the lines here, and if this means Playbook Sim got fixed, we got draft overhaul, and we got create a team, I hope the create a team is in depth. I don't know if we're going to love, say, maybe the same copy and paste create a team, the Team Builder that we're getting for college football. But again, like if the stadium aspect, the stadium builder of it's in depth, and it's, I can put my own logos in. Yeah, upload your own. It's a win. That's a win right there. There's no other ifs, ands, or buts about it. That is an absolute win, and I'm excited for create a team. Like that, this one thing, even if this is the AI trades don't happen, even if this doesn't mean they've revamped, at least somewhat, heavily tuned the playbook versus sim dynamic, the Team Builder being back in is a gigantic win. And that's why I got the big, best for last type section of the franchise overview. That's huge. We got presentation. There is going to be, again, that's not so much for me because I mute all that stuff anyways. Superstar mode, show the world what you're made of. This big thing for Superstar mode, you got new archetypes, faces, hair, tattoos, utilize the combine drills to grow your avatar, dominate the league. I mean, the biggest thing here is always just going to be this. Because I am someone that's very excited to do the Road to Glory in College Football 25 and import my Road to Glory player into Madden. That's going to be badass. That's kind of what we want. Then we got Ultimate Team Online, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Superstar mode, hopefully it's going to be badass because I'm definitely going to try it this year because we can import college football. But what do you guys think? Clearly, we're going to be focusing on the franchise content here. Team Builder, clearly a win. Hopefully it's great. Hopefully the Team Builder site works. I still am they need to launch this. It's not going to be now. They should drop it now, though. Let Team Builder site drop now, so you have a month before college football drops to get the site right. Get all the bugs out of the way. There's no crashes, all that. Drop it now. Because if it doesn't work now and there's issues now, you still got 3-4 weeks before the game even drops to get it right. I would hate for the scenario, and I'm not saying that this is. I'm going to imagine they're going to drop it. Some people are saying they're going to drop it like first week of July, give you a week before college football drops. I would just hate a scenario where Team Builder drops when college football drops, and then like that's your beta, that's your testing. And then hopefully the site gets figured out by the time Madden comes in August. Drop it now. Drop it now. Because I remember, and I made this post, I don't remember what game it was, but I remember there was a baseball game like 2 years ago, 3 years ago that dropped. And the algorithm, I don't get 80. I don't watch baseball. I hate baseball. Don't really, outside of I think Bengal's the only person that I interact with that plays the baseball games. But all over my feed on Twitter were people like making creative teams and stadiums in this baseball game. Like it was popping off. There was a lot of eyes on that product. I feel like you get the same thing by dropping Team Builder right now. Having people for like a whole month dropping badass Team Builder sites and teams and stadiums and all that different stuff. It's free marketing for the game. So I think that would be huge, dropping the Team Builder site. But I'd love to hear what you guys think about everything that is coming towards Madden 25, especially on the franchise standpoint. Overall, till we get the deep dive, I think there were maybe a little more vagueness in the overview than what I would like. But I'm excited for the deep dive. I'm excited for Create a Team. I'm excited to see how they evolve the draft night. And please, 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 please just nerf the playbooks a little bit. Make it go on your player stats, not your playbooks. Please! But that'll do it for me today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. As always, if it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. We're getting very close to 170,000 subscribers. Would love to hit that before college football drops. Plus, we got a bunch of stuff coming. College football, Madden. It's the summer. The C4 summer right now. Everyone says white boy summer. Chet Hanks, because you got Christian McCaffrey on the logo. It's C4 summer. We're going to take that out of here. It's C4 summer. Hop on the bandwagon before you get left in the dust. Thank you guys very much for watching. Until next time, it's your boy C4. Say peace. I love you. Have a good one.